why don't I go ahead and play a chord progression, because I want to get to a question from Helen Kemp. Helen is asking about chord progressions and how to work out what a chord progression is. So let me jam on a chord progression for a minute, and then I'll simplify things, and maybe we can talk about how to identify chord progressions. Why don't we keep things in the key of C, a very friendly key, right? Key of C. Here's a progression for you. Nice progression. Now, if we simplify things, here's what all of that is based on. This is kind of the foundation of what I just did. And this progression happens to be the 1 to 5 to 6 to 4. And in the key of C, what that means is the 1 chord is the first chord in the key. That's the C chord. Excuse me. Now, from C, we're going to a G chord because the next number in our progression is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 chord in the key of C is G. The 6 chord is A minor. And the 4 chord is F major. C. G, A minor, and F major. Now, from here, we can do some other cool stuff on top of that. I like to find common tones that work over all of the chords in a progression. You might see something like this. A lot can be done based on just a couple of numbers, right? That was all just based off 1, 5, 6, 4. Helen's asking specifically about looking at a piece of music, maybe that's written, or listening to a piece of music, and trying to identify what the chord progression is without having that information. So maybe you're listening to a song on the radio, or Spotify, whatever, and you're like, man, I really love this song. What is that progression? And how can I figure that out? This all comes down to understanding the key that you're in and looking for patterns. So first you want to figure out your key. Let's say we're in the key of C. But you want to take a minute to figure out your scale. The scale degrees in a key are the building blocks that the chords and everything else use. So you would then look through your key and familiarize yourself with the chords in that key. C is very friendly because they're all white keys. So this would be the 1 chord in the key of C. You could just do one hand as well. The 2 chord, the 3 chord, the 4 chord, 5 chord. See how this works? The 6 chord, the 7 chord, and the 1 chord. Now, there's a couple things that we're going to see quite often when we're looking at chord progressions, especially in pop and rock music. We're going to see a lot of some chords in the key, and we're not really ever going to see other chords, or more rarely we'll see other chords. The 1 chord in any key is going to be very present in a song. If you are in the key of C, you're going to often find C chords, okay? Often you will find those chords at the beginning and or the end of a phrase or of the progression before it starts to loop. Maybe at the end of a section. The 1 chord is home base in any key. So if we're in the key of C, you're going to see C major chord a lot. So look for that in your chords, Helen, or listen for that maybe if you're listening to music and you're sitting at your piano trying to figure it out. Once you know your key, you should be able to rely on the fact that you're going to see that 1 chord quite often. You're also likely going to see the 5 chord very often. So the C chord is the 1 chord. The G chord is the 5 chord. The play between the 5 and the 1 chord is what most music is built off of. We have other chords, of course, but the 5-to-1 is the meat of it. You're already halfway there, Helen, if you can get to that point. Figure out your key and remind yourself of what the 1 chord and the 5 chord are. Chances are you're going to see at least one of those in your chord progression. From there, a tip that I have would be to figure out the roots. Now, you can do that by listening to the bass line of a recording, for example, trying to pick out the notes. David Sides is really good at that. Or you can look at your notation, if you have the notation in front of you, and you can identify the low notes. Often in the left hand, you're going to be playing roots. And that can give you a hint at your progression. So if we were going to play through the progression I just did earlier, 1, 5, 6, and 4, chances are you're going to see something like those notes in the left hand, right? So I'm just playing through the progression here. That was just the 1 and the 5. In the left hand, I was playing the 1 note, C, and the 5 note, G. So if you can identify the bass notes in your notation, that's often a clue as to what the root of the chord is. You can map out the bass notes, and you start to hear them repeat. Chances are that's your progression, some kind of a C chord, a G chord, an A chord, and an F chord. That can help you narrow it down as well. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Phil. Don't forget to hit subscribe and tap that notification bell. And be sure to check out the Playground Sessions interactive app. It was co-created by music legend Quincy Jones. Playground teaches the piano with interactive feedback and gaming features, all while using your favorite songs.